Hello, honorable members of the clan. So let's go to the Knockout High Court in the sense of Maywa deletion trial, and it is hot. Let's start backwards, then we go forward. So, Mr. Mnisi dropped what you would consider a legal bombshell on Mr. Gininda, who is not relenting on the warning statement. He's calling it's just a mere guideline. It is not something to be followed. It is not something that is legal. And Mr. Mnisi is like, but this is a legal document. But before he took him to a legal document, he first kind of like asked Mr. Gininda if he understands that South Africa is a constitutional democracy, and therefore the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa is supreme law over everything. And then Mr. Gininda is like, yes, I do understand that. And then he dove right back to the warning statement. And Mr. Gininda, which I just realized that this guy must be the luckiest lead investigator in the world, where everything that he is investigating just falls into place. Like it falls onto his lap. And then you are like, okay, the first thing that fell luckily on his lap, it is Absalom Zungu and Zungu himself, the liar, how they came about, and then started naming all these people. And then they did what you call a cold case profiling. And then the cold case profiling, it then took out these people. It could have been anybody. It could have been you who's watching if they did a cold case profiling. And you would be arrested. You will be in the place of Danzi. You'll be in the place of, what's his name, Mnisi. Which in itself, that is so flawed, if you ask me. What was the, what measurement or what process that makes one thing, yep, that's it, that's Clancy's, let's go for him, type of situation. And then you come to Clancy's, this is luck number 2. Clancy's, when he gets there, it's like, oh yeah, guys, okay, fine, you got me, I want to confess. Oh, no, I don't want a lawyer. What person, even if they know they are guilty, would not want a legal representative, which is a third luck for Mr. Gininda? Because apparently Untanzi said, no, I don't want legal representative. I was at work on the 26th of October 2014, which is luck number 4, that Ntanzi just blurted out the 26th of October 2014. I know what I was doing on the 26th of October 2014, and I've shared with you guys that I used to run a small little business to look after rich people's homes. And I remember the house that I was house sitting on the 26th of October 2014. Not because I went back and looked at it, because I remember, because the ocean was right before me and there was a ship that looked like it was offshore and it was orange in color. I remember that. So now, just because I remember what I was doing on the 26th of October 2014, including the environment, how it looked like, and how the weather looked like as well, suddenly now I'm a suspect. I'm now giving you information, so-called alibi. That doesn't make sense to me. Especially when something is on the news before even the trial began with Maumel. I remember the date of the 26th of October 2014. Everybody remembers that because it's embedded in our minds due to the media reports. And then not only it was just in the media for 1 year or something, it continuously been in the news. On Twitter, everybody was talking about it and asking questions about it, and the date will be re-mentioned again. So of course everybody will remember. I'm sure you even remember yourself the 26th of October 2014. Not everybody remembers what they were doing. Not everybody. But you know of this date because it was so much embedded in our minds. So I felt that was very interesting. And then from there, Ntanzi doesn't want a legal representative. What logical-minded person would say, I don't want legal representative? Especially if you want to make a confession. Because if you want to make a confession, you would want your confession to be the what do you call this, reflects the truth of what you are going to say. So what's best to get a lawyer who is going to sit in that confession and sometimes even give you legal advice. You look at Kelly Kumalo, who was never a suspect, but she had a watching brief. What person is that? I know I don't need a lawyer. No. Everything for Gininda is just falling into place. And now that all of these things that are falling into place, he's being caught with one simple document, the warning statement, or is it called the warning statement, and if it's filled, then he must use a folio to continue with the confession or with the interview or whatever the case might be. So he's like holding on to this one. Is that Mr. Mnisi is reading that every interview you are going to hold with the suspect, whether arrested or not, there's a form that needs to be filled, a warning statement. And then it says every, that's what the document says, every, but no, Mr. Gininda wants to come with section A1 of the same document by saying, oh no, that one that you are reading to me, it doesn't exist. This is the one that we follow, where the prosecutor and the police have a communication and the prosecutor gives instructions to the police as to what to do next. And he says, this is lag number 5. No, Mr. Baloy, he was not instructing him the way he was not talking to him. No members of the MPA was doing anything. So because of that, this part that Mr. Mnisi is talking about falls away. And I am going to go with section A1 of this document. And now he's actually arguing that this document is frivolous. It's frivolous. No, it's not something to be taken serious. But it is part of the South African law. So Mr. Mnisi realizing that, you know what, I am hitting a brick wall with this guy because, okay, before I get here, what is it with Gininda and parts? You know, you are asked a question, oh, this question is in parts. Part 1, part 2, part 3. Every question is being asked by Mr. Mnisi this morning has parts, compartments, shelves. And he says you cannot talk about this in isolation, just like the document they're currently discussing. You are looking at it in one dimension. This thing has multifacets. And I'm thinking, but why would the lawmakers make a simple guideline into multiple facets? And then because it's multiply faceted, he can pick and choose what suits him. Because, well, the MPA was not working with him, was not giving him instructions, so he had to do what he needed to do so in order for us to be here today. And then Mr. Mnisi, this is now I'm coming back. This is when Mr. Mnisi is like, I would request the court, or at some point I'm going to request the court to invoke section 186 to request for the National Police Commissioner, Fanny Masemula, to court, or any high-ranking officer in the South African Police Services, including the spokesperson, Glenda Mate. Atlanta Mate. Did the judge not stand up and say, wait a minute, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Did all these suspects fill in a warning statement? Yes, they did. Including accused number 2? Yes, they did. Okay. Because now, we cannot have the National Police Commissioner here and then destroy everything that have been cooked. Because, of course, the National Police Commissioner is going to come and clarify this warning statement thing and say whether it's important or not important. If it's not important, then why it's being done? Because the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa says everyone has the right to remain silent. Anything you say will and can be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney, whether it's your own private attorney or the state attorney, if you cannot afford one. I'm not even a police officer and I know this. Which I don't think they tell suspects their rights when they arrest them. Well, I would say most police officers don't do that. And I don't believe Gininda for 1 second that he gave Ntanzi warnings every time he interviewed him. Because where is what they're busy discussing has been done as per the warning statement guidelines? Where's the commissioner that signed? Where's the interpreter that signed? Because they're all insignificant in a constitutional democracy. Ay. Whatever it's going. Mr. Mnisi has Gininda pushed against the corner here. And Mr. Mnisi said, listen, when we come back from short adjournment, I'm not done with you regarding this document. However, at some point, if we continue like this, I will invoke section 186 of Criminal Procedure Act by calling the National Police Commissioner Fanny Masemula. I was like, oh, okay. And then Judge Rata, I knew somebody was going to jump. But I knew Judge Rata was going to say something so that he looks awake. And then he says lunchtime or tea time, and then the court adjourned. So we will leave it right here because they're about to come back. I just thought, let me just talk about the last part, and then we'll go backwards where when Mr. Mnisi started his cross-examination, he started with the process of arrest, and if the person has things on them, possessions on them like cell phone, guns, any stuff, what happens? So we'll talk about that in the next video because it was quite interesting what Mr. Gininda responded to what we know about Ntanzi's cell phone subsequently that Mr. Baloyi is pushing a narrative about. And that, guys, let's see each other a little bit later. Please continue to do me this big favor by liking the video. Please like the video, guys. And also, if you like this family and you have two IQs to rub together and spark your own opinion, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to click the bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. See you later. They're about to come back. Bye.